Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here, and welcome back to the 1860 Minute Youth Only Challenge. Today, in episode 49, we've got a lot to discuss here on the 1st of July. You know that I refer to this as Christmas Day on Football Manager because of all the signings have turned 18 that can come in at the start of the window. And we've got more than just signings that are 18. We've got plenty of signings to, fit a tactic that isn't the 4-3-3. Now, you might be saying, Damien, you're mad. What do you mean you're changing the tactic? It's a tactic that made you finish third last season, a tactic that made you finish fourth, a tactic that made you get to the Champions League semi-final. I get that. And yes, we did have a 7-hour and 15-minute stream and we did not lose a game. I get that. However, this is inexcusable. And I think if we can somehow get the best world of both of these tactics, then we'll be okay. I'm not writing the 4-3-3 off at all. I am not. I still think it's the most broken tactic out there, this 4-3-3. Don't get me wrong. All I've done is I've got a couple of ideas. I've got a tactic that I think we could play for 65 minutes and then switch into the 4-3-3 if needed. I've got a tactic in this system that could, still be aggressive but probably a bit more defensively solid. So it would be better in the bigger games. And guess what? We got Bayern Munich on the opening day. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Radio. We've got Bayern Munich on the opening day, so yeah, that's going to be fun. Dates. That just looks weird to me. Radio. Yeah, there we are. Bayern Munich opening day. Right? And we've got a tactic that I've built around and is very exciting for me to use. Now, let's go through the tactic first. Welcome to the 4-4-2 that me and my good friend AJ Walker spent hours talking about this morning while I was editing. We are both under the belief that the main reason that we got done in this 4-3-3 towards the end of the season was two reasons. We don't think burnout necessarily, but the fact there was so many injuries in the squad and so much rotation, it unsettled the team. And the main cause of that is how intense this 4-3-3 is. So maybe it's a case of burnout. And secondly, towards the end of the season, FM, for whatever reason, seems to like to throw in a curveball and say, we figured you out now. And then next season, your tactic's fine again. Now, I still don't know if the 4-3-3 will play Bayern Munich on the opening day. Pre-season will dictate this. But we have built a 4-4-2. A flat 4-4-2. And for those that are a long-time viewer of mine, I have used 4-4-2s in the past. I've usually used 4-2-4s since like Fm19 or Fm20 with Mess, but 4-4-2 was a system we won the Champions League with that Sunderland, where we did have Mbappe, but that Sunderland team was stacked. But it's not your traditional 4-4-2. Me and AJ have played it in a way that we think still brings out the best of the 4-3-3, still brings in the best of the movement, but allows us to get a more defensively solid shape. You may be looking at a tactic and go, it's not very attacking, it's just normally attacking. Still very, very aggressive. Standard, extremely high tempo and slightly narrow because of the inverted wingers. I'll explain why in a sec. But no real final third sort of things. If they want to be more expressive, be more expressive. You want to stay more structured and be more disciplined, be more disciplined. You want to work the ball into the box, great. If you want to hit an early cross, all right. I'm just going to let them be them. You might be thinking, that's a very basic tactic for a team so good. I get that, but with our natural creativity and natural ability to run at the ball, I don't want to overcomplicate. I'm not saying that we overcomplicated here in the 4-3-3, because it's not overly like, oh my God, so many ideas. But maybe for the reserve lads, the guys on the fringes, that 4-3-3 is a very complex system of the player roles. That was also a cause of why we lost 5 games from 5 at the end of the season. And realistically put, we blew the Champions League semi-final, we blew the league, and to say we blew the cup's harsh, but we were the better team against Dortmund when we got knocked out. We now, in transition, will counter and counter-press like in the 4-3-3, and we'll roll out without any design where it will go. I like that roll out without saying where it needs to go, because they will roll it out into a midfielder that drops, they'll roll it out to fullback, they'll roll it out to the wingers, and occasionally they will actually just go long by foot to the winger, which I don't mind as well. And, the standard usual, much higher line of engagement. Standard line of defense seems to be a bit more broken than not this season. Offside trap, prevent short goalkeeper distribution when it gets out my tongue. It's a system that is very mirrored to this, but obviously in a very structured sort of shape in the 4-4-2. But the beauty of this system is not the player instruction, is not the instructions of the team. It's the player instructions and the roles. Where you've got fullbacks on attack that are taking more risks, bombing on, tackling harder, man marking tighter, squeeze that space, be on your man, be ready to chop at will. There we are. We've got centre-backs that obviously are doing the same thing. I've gone actually a centre-back on defend because Rosario is not good enough with his passing. Where I see this, who won Champions League, Defender of the Year, is now playing in the World Cup for Brazil with that 16 passing as the ball player because he's absolutely fantastic. And obviously we've mirrored it on the other side. The beauty of this system is definitely the front, is this midfield four in the front too. We've got inverted wings that obviously shoot less often because I want them to create. But if it's there to shoot, have a dig. Sit narrower, tackle harder, man mark tighter, and obviously as an inverted winger on attack, look to get much further forward. We've got a centre mid on defend, and we'll talk about who will play there in a second because it will not be Demi Ami. We've got take fewer risks, dribble less often, shoot less often. I want them to literally sit, hold, tackle, win, recycle. Repeat. Now, Demi Ami is good at that, don't get me wrong, but I have a different role for Demi Ami this year, and it's not a starting role, it's a backup centre-back role, because, look, to be fair, Demi, out of all the problems we had last season, towards the end when we needed a ball-winning midfielder or a defensive mid, I think they will be alright. Dino, as a centre-mid on support, is not a centre-mid on support. We know how broken centre-mids on attack are, but I think that with these player instructions, we've made a centre mid on attack, but he will still drop deeper to be the centre mid on support. Take more risks, dribble more often, shoot less often when you do get forward, but get further forward. Move into the channel as well. I want this guy just zipping around in any half space possible. For a guy who has got teamwork, vision, work rate 17s, 16s, first touch, get him bombing, right? Fill the spaces going forward, but at the same time, centre mid on support, he will drop that little bit deeper, and without the ball, tuck him with that centre mid on defend that little bit more. Where I think in the 4-3-3 on attack, at the end of the season, our two centre mids on attack were getting caught too high, and our poor little defensive midfielder was just being left isolated. We're getting hit on the break a lot. And then obviously the other inverted wingers are very same. But this is where it becomes fun, boys. We have a centre forward on attack, and there's a reason why I'm not playing two advanced forwards, and I'll explain that because of the players we've signed. But there's one big instruction you might be going, ooh, what is that? Stay wider. Why stay wider, Damien? It's also on the advanced forward, who are looking to close down more and tackle harder and tighter in the press. Why stay wider? There's a couple of reasons. If we get penned in, or we need an out ball, these boys will look to get to the touchline. Instead of sitting on man, looking for that perfect ball over the top, if my centre-backs, especially I see this with 16 passing, can get a ball one touch and ping it into these wider guys. Second thing it does, the centre-backs, because they're full opposition full-backs will bomb on, will probably look to follow their player. If they're two centre-backs, if I go back to the overall tactic here, are starting to go and get pulled out of position and pulled wider, these two strikers going wider are going to create a heap of room to drive a semi-trailer of players driving into the box. Centre mid on support, who's basically a centre mid on attack. Two inverted wingers on attack, bombing on, getting inside, underlapping into that space. There's going to be goals where we peel wider, the striker will get it, send it back out of position, one pass around the corner, and we have got 3 against 1 centre-back, and on we go. I can see in a perfect world where this system could be nearly as nutty as this one. Now, don't get me wrong, the 4-3-3, teams that are weaker in the league, if we get a good group and there's weaker teams in the group, yes. In the cup until we play a big name, yes. But I think this game, this system, right, towards the end of the year where we need to start making sure that we're in game 65, 70 minutes in and it's 0-0. If we get to the late stage in the Champions League, we play a bigger team in the league. Bayern Munich first opening day was not the team I wanted because I wanted them to learn it. We'll see if we play it or not. I think this system will do the job. It's a system that still will be defensively solid because it's a flat 4 and a flat 4. But it will allow for the creativity and the forward movement to fill spaces that our strikers will make for our players because they're peeling wider. They're not your traditional players. They're wide strikers. And your two inverted wingers in centre mid and support, who's a centre mid on attack, are going to find areas of space. Now, you might be thinking, Damien, well, really, realistically, we don't have too many centre mids that can defend. And, well, also, Damien, you really only have ever had two strikers that can actually play up top. Yeah, that's got to change because we've just spent a whole heap of money. Yannick Krug has joined on loan with the potential to buy for 20 million. We're actually paying 9 mil for his 2-year loan. The main reason why he's here on loan, he didn't want to join 1860 because we're a rival, but he was happy to come on loan. And then when we loaned him, we reject Bayern Munich's contract offer because he can understand we could buy him. Have a look at him as a centre forward on attack at 17. Ralph Iich's replacement, no rotation option, yes. That was my one key thing last season when we needed to rotate to keep people fit for the league or for the Champions League. We couldn't rotate because our reserve guys, bar one game, couldn't do it. Yannick Krug helping to lead that reserve line in the 4-4-2, I think is absolutely fantastic. And he ain't the only striker signing we got. We've obviously got other guys that have come in, and here they are. The other striker, his name is Darcy Hart from Liverpool Football Club. We have pitched their hot prospect for 14.75 million. The 6'2" striker likes to round goalkeepers, which is overly overpowered. And more importantly, unlike James Margetts, is considered to be, he according to his scout report, apparently was a consistent player. Apparently not anymore. Okay, whatever. He was a consistent player on his scout report. I had that all prepared. But what I like about him here at 18 years of age is look how well-rounded he is at 18. Physically a little bit slow, granted. Good determination, great ability to hit a long shot. But more importantly, lads, how many 12s are there? He's 18. They're all going to be 15. I can see a perfect world where every one of those green stats that you see are 15 plus. What a world-class striker. And if we ever sell James Margetts in about 4 or 5 years' time, if we haven't done it, this guy could really fill the void as the advanced forward. 6'2", he's going to win a few headers as well, ain't he? All right, we then have got other options here as well, and I think the big one that we are going to definitely go to, his name is Rudy. 41k we paid for him from ATP. 41k. Say hello to your new centre mid on defending this new system, or ball-winning midfielder when he learns to play as a ball-winning midfielder in the 4-3-3. Yeah, just a little nutty. I'm actually surprised he didn't play for Brazil in this World Cup. Big killing it at ATP as well. What a footballer. 6'2", physical, mentally no stat below 11. Just repeat that. In his mentals, he has no stat below 11. And outside of corners, his lowest stats are his crossing and his penalty taking, which are 8. And when you're a bit more of a defensively minded midfielder, you don't really need that dribbling ability of 9. And that will get to 11 by the time he's finished developing. Could actually play as an unreal pressing forward, which could be broken. But this guy's a ball-winning midfielder on defend in the 4-3-3. And this guy's a centre mid on defend, sitting in, sweeping up, winning balls, distributing, even hitting the occasional long shot is going to be absolutely amazing. And the fact he's 6'2" from corners could be huge as well. In terms of the other players we signed, they're a little bit more whatever. Aaron Jose, 2.7k, is the wonder kid goalkeeper we picked up. So just a little bit of a signing, huh? 2.7k the Brazilian. Wonder kid goalkeeper. Aerial reach, command of area and communication, all above 15. Handling of 15, reflexes 15, positioning of 15 at 18. Never played for a youth side, ever. But for 2.7k from Brazil, that is your backup goalkeeper. And I tell you what, artists, you start conceding goals, mate. Aaron is definitely going to be a guy that could take his mantle in a few years' time. And then outside of that, we've actually only just got rotation options. The Dim Simonopoulos, nicknamed by Dim Sim in chat, just a Greek guy that, you know, we love. Paulie's doing a Greek save. His link's down below, always in my YouTube YouTube, so go check him out. But look, the guy from Zenit, I don't even think I pronounced that right. He's just a guy sitting in my 19s. So just, yeah. And then lucky last, Miloslav Janko is just a Croat that I wish he was big, but he's not. It's just a guy that just plays DM, centre mid on defend really well. We needed one more defensively minded midfielder because it allows me to play Ami at centre-back and me to loan out Cilia now that he's homegrown, the Guinean international. And, well, Miloslav Yanko Kota-Risky, I just think he's going to grow into one of those guys that is never going to look amazing, but in terms of how to be a defensive midfielder, pretty damn perfect at 5'8". It makes a good decision, brave, decently okay physically, can tackle, pass, and, he's got the most insane amount of positioning and tackling you want. So what a little bit of signings. We have a new system. We have an old system. But we have a handful of new signings. And we'll see you guys YouTube at the end of August to recap how we've gone and to put one eye on next year's Champions League group. Hello YouTube, Damo is here and with a bid for James Margetts, our club captain. A guy that's absolutely insane. A guy that, to be quite fair, hasn't done enough in terms of how many goals he should score, but last season was definitely a lot better than most. A guy we're not interested in selling. However, Leipzig have made a pretty handsome bid. You can't see it because of my face. Give me 1 second. 1 and 2 and nope. 64 mil in the bottom right-hand corner, right where my mouse is, just there. Let me just click this all back for you. 1, 2, and 3. Do, re, mi. James Margetts ain't leaving unless it's for 500 mil. So, get ready for it. We're going to negotiate. And we're going to suggest. And they decided the deal can't be done. See ya later. And there we are. James doesn't even want to think about leaving, by the way. James is just like, he wants a new deal. James just says he just wants a new deal, which, to be fair, we'll have a look at a new contract for him. Why not? Important player. Yep. And release fee of 500 million. Yep. Bang. That's how easy it is. He wants to stay as club captain, 500 million release fee. It's as simple as that. The man from T Pook is not available for anybody. You hear me, game? 500 mil it's going to take for James Margetts. Will we ever sell him? Probably not. Should we? Definitely not. Look how good James Margetts is. And I tell you what, lads, I hope this form that we're in with this 4-4-2 does continue because we are scoring goals. And let's just hope when we get to recapping, we've beaten Bayern Munich, because that would be huge. Welcome back, YouTube. This is the most ridiculous start to a year I've ever seen, and this is going to recap it beautifully. I've never seen a Champions League qualifying game get suspended or postponed, and Dynamo from Croatia, and I forgot now who they were, that they played at home. Shakhtar got postponed. So we didn't get a draw on the 28th. That was meant to bring you with this illustrious draw of what we normally do. And then on the end of that day, right, at the end of the 4th, right, I've just pressed continue. So that game's come through. There's a 2-1 win, right? Nothing in my inbox. I've pressed continue. It's taken me to the 5th and the draw's been done without there being no attempt of there being a draw. So we've got Spurs, Villarreal and Olympiacos. And Spurs are quite good in FM. They finished 4th. Had a couple of these, but they've got guys like this. So, yeah, have fun with that. And get ready just to, be bemused and, just be like, what is going on here in this save? We are currently 12th. We've played 3 league games. We've already lost 2. The poor run of form's continuing. I cannot tell you how much BS FM can deal one person, but I swear I cop it the most. The new system, 3-0 up inside 10 minutes. That is correct. 3-0 up inside 10 minutes. A goal inside 20 seconds against Bayern Munich. And then our star man that we brought in on his debut, Rudy, gets sent off in the 13th minute. It's like FM just turned around and said, nah, you're playing too well, red card. And then Mbappe decided to be Mbappe. We lose 4-3. Now, look, if we lost to Bayern Munich normally, great. And if we drew 3-3, I would be quite annoyed, but not a problem. It happens, okay? And this is a great finish by Yitch, by the way. And then the next one's a goalkeeper mistake, but we take him. I would be, if those situations happened, if they were too good for us on the day, or we were 3-0 up here, the red card happened, but we somehow held on, I would be okay with that. I could be content. I could live with it. It's more that Football Manager turned around and said, you're beating Bayern Munich too easily. You must get a red card. They must beat you. It's like, no, just let me just be normal. It's like the end of the season last season, out of nowhere, a tactic that didn't lose for 7 hours and 15 minutes on a Sunday gets loaded up on a Monday for a Monday stream, and all of a sudden you can't beat Hoffenheim, Hamburg, a million chances against Leipzig, you get disallowed goals. You can't beat St. Pauli. And it's like the game goes, no, we don't want you to win the league this season. Whatever you do, even if Bayern Munich try to throw it away, we're going to make sure you don't win. And then in the Champions League semi-final, kind of went, well, we can't have you making a final first year, so rip you again. I would like to just it to be normal. Like the Hertha Berlin game, for instance, I'm a little bit more content with this because we didn't play particularly well, but James Margetts missed 2 chances from inside the 6-yard box and he's got 16 finishing. I'm going to cry wolf again. A guy this good, no matter if he's a little bit inconsistent, will score inside the 6-yard box 100 out of 100 times in real life. So why on earth, when we're cutting it back with no goalkeeper, is he trying to, he's going to miss chances? It is utterly ridiculous. And I honestly am scared for the save. Now, I've had plenty of moments where we've talked like this at SFB, right? And in the end, we did it all. But I'm honestly scared for the save. Because if I get FM by Cologne, and if I get FM by Hamburg, and all of a sudden against Olympiacos and Spurs, we draw a couple of games and we're not doing well in the group, I can see a world where the board will turn around and go, mate, you're 11th in the league, you're not doing well in the group, you must get X amount of points or you're sacked. And I'm honestly scared, not because we play bad football, or not because of we have a bad team, more because football managers just coming out conspiring to, for it to end bad. I don't understand. I still can't get over the fact that we lost all these games here, disallowed goal here, draw here with a million chances, better than Dortmund on the day we don't win. I can't understand it. And this one tops it off. You're 3-0 up inside 10 minutes. You're in dreamland. The tackle isn't overly bad. It's one of those ones that FM have started giving red cards for, which I completely disagree. A referee in a Munich derby, in any derby, would look at this tackle and go, first real challenge, not a problem. Because it's not like he's flown in from deep, and it's not like he's flown in from anywhere. It's more the fact that, if you watch it back in slow motion, and we actually rewind to the moment, it's there to be won. It's there to be won, this ball. They're neck and neck, 50-50, and Rudy it goes through his leg. And I'm like, FM, please, man. Because if that doesn't happen, and that's not a red card, I'm telling you right now, we win this game 7-0. Because I don't see a way that we just do whatever. So I don't understand why FM, or just out of nowhere from last night and today, has just basically turned around and said, you know what, doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter what tactic you play, it doesn't matter how much you dominate in games, you are not allowed to do anything in this save. And I'm getting to the stage where I'm getting scared that if we don't beat Cologne, and we don't beat Hamburg, and we don't beat Frankfurt, and we don't beat Olympiacos, I honestly could turn around and say, well, actually, I think we're going to cop a sacking. Even though I would have probably been the better side in the Bundesliga for the last year and a half, and I've probably been the better side, and I was one of the better sides in the Champions League last year. I'll relate it to real life, and FM isn't real life, and the board, at least mercifully aren't asking for top 4. They want a top half finish, right? And they want us to be competitive in the Champions League. If I was a real life chairman, I would have been like, okay, you finished 4th and you just finished 3rd, you threw away the league title, and you threw away the semi-final, I would be turning around going, all right, this season I'm expecting a top 2 finish. I'm expecting you to reach the quarterfinal of the Champions League. And if you don't do that, we're going to have a talk. I'll get a manager of class that will take me there. Because I would look at the manager and go, you're not the guy to take me next level. Is that harsh? Is that too harsh? I don't think so. I look at this squad and I look, you know what? I've got, pound for pound, I think a better squad than I had at SFB and we won a Champions League. So if that's the case, why am I not getting results? Why am I always getting constantly FM'd? Why am I always getting a red card in a big game when it shouldn't be a red? Questions. I know there's a very ragey end to this episode. I apologise. People don't like it. People hate when I get passionate. I don't give a crap. Give it a down like on the video. I don't care, right? I am just sick and tired of sitting here, putting time and effort. I purposely don't do things I enjoy so I can stream Football Manager because I enjoy streaming it. But I can do other things tonight in my time. And all the game does, it goes, nah, sorry. Doesn't matter how many guys you build. Doesn't matter how many tactics you tweak it so it doesn't, it's not as open. It doesn't matter if you've got a tactic that's been killing it for so long. It's ludicrous. I honestly, we get to this stage in every save that Damien loses his head. We know that, right? He's not. I'm known for it. We know that, eventually when push comes to shove, when I know that we're on the cusp of doing it, that I lose my mind when shit like this happens. My only issue is in Denmark, at least I could turn around and go, yeah, but I'm going to win the league and the cup to keep my job. Here in the Bundesliga, I'm like, I haven't won a league, I haven't won a cup, and I haven't won a Champions League, and we're 10 seasons in. It's not panic stations, but if I don't win something soon, the board are probably going to look to move me on to get someone in that will win something. Will they not? So for me, and she'll be right. Yeah, but she'll be right if I go on a winning run of form. And considering that we've lost 7 of our last 9 league games or something like that, when can I say that we are going to win stuff? Or when am I say that we're going to actually go on a run of form? Look at that, by the way, in the pre-season. Beat Hertha Berlin 2-0, Barcelona 2-1 in a game absolutely dominated, and they scored an 88th minute pen. 4-1 win against Hoffenheim, and a few other results there, all with the 4-4-2. And 3-0 up against Bayern Munich. So for people that may sit there and go, switch back to the 4-3-3, it works so well for you, why would you even think of changing? The 4-4-2 is produced, but we don't do it. Anyhow, from Dame and everybody else here, I'm going to end the episode there. Next episode is going to be a recap of the Champions League, and if it starts getting tight, you're going to get a live com. I expect it to get tight. I expect Villarreal, we haven't looked at them here, to be a very good side. I expect Spurs to top the group, and Olympiacos probably will have a regen or two that we've got to be worried about. Something's a lot different than last season. I don't know what it is, but I honestly just can feel that we're going to cop a few more FMings, and if that's the case, I honestly am worried about our job. And should I be? You let me know, but I think we're going to cop a sacking if we don't turn it around.